And welcome back to the WCHE Morning Show. I'm Eric Lambert. Co-host today is Barry Dean. Joining us on the phone for the show, we have the most prolific Guinness World Record holder on the planet, David Rush. David, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing excellent.
Now, Dave, let's start this out right away and clarify. You are not an ex-CIA agent that stole $40 million in gold and just got arrested, right?
Oh, my goodness. I am not that person. Neither am I the rapper. Oh, my goodness.
Right.
You know, it's been 10 years of trying to get up on those Google search results, and all we had to do was still like 103 gold bars to meet the top results.
And you would have been there, right?
If I knew it was that easy, I wouldn't have gone out and broke 400 Guinness World Records.
Exactly. Bam, I'm here. Everybody knows me. We're good. You know?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we are
My
honored.
uncle was asking me for the gold bars.
Oh, my God. And, you know, it would have been nice. It would have been more money than gold records. I mean, world records. Yeah, it would have been gold records, right? That's what it would have been. So we are honored to have you on here. Thank you. You know, we reported on you. This is Barry D. We reported on you last week, and we're like, the guy did flaming torches. Of course, I don't know what other kind of torch there is, but that amazes me. How do you pick these things? I just got to start out before we do anything else. I know Eric is going to have like nuts and bolts stuff, but I just got to get this out of the way. How did you pick flaming torches?
So I look through the book and the YouTube videos and the Guinness database to pick the records I want to break. And I come at it with a growth mindset because I encourage students to promote STEM education, saying, hey, if you're bad at math, struggle with science, you can still become an engineer. And so I look through and I'm like, well, what records do I want to spend my time, energy, and effort on practicing? And since I have a background in juggling, I started when I was 8. I started the juggling club while I was at MIT. Anything juggling related, I'm like, okay, this is something where I've got the base skill.
Right.
And frankly, juggling flaming torches, not a difficult skill. That one it's not about the juggling. It's about the science behind getting the torches to stay lit the longest, because it's the longest duration juggling between flaming torches.
Really?
The record was only 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I hold the record for the longest duration juggling. I can juggle 13 hours. So the juggling in 5 minutes isn't the hard part. It's how do I get the flame to last the longest? So then it's about out of the science. Like, how do I do you put extra fuel on? Do you put less fuel on so it doesn't burn as fast? What fuel do you use?
Uh-huh.
And so it ended up being a white kerosene burns longer than like a white gas or, lighter fluid. And you want a little longer wick. And then I left a little extra fuel on there, and you want a low wind environment, which I didn't have as much. But that increased it from about 5 minutes to, about 6.5 minutes when the torch blew out. And then I could have kept juggling for another 3 hours.
Wow. And you not only hold the record for that juggling, you are also the slowest and consecutively the fastest juggler, right?
Yeah, the world's fastest juggling is one of the hardest records I've broke for the most juggling catches in 1 minute. And I upped it from like 422 to got 428. Somebody else got 502, which was a huge jump, a different technique. I jumped it up to 556, and I currently hold the record at 586 catches in 1 minute. That's almost 10 a second. And then, of course, like, what? Then the question begs to ask, what's the slowest juggling? And, of course, the fewest juggling catches in a minute. With the caveat, you got to be juggling the entire time.
Right.
And you can't catch two balls in the same hand. So that's a technique thing. Obviously, throw the ball as high as possible. Second critical piece is wait until the last possible moment before throwing the next ball. So the hang time's overlapping. But at that point, there's about a 70-mile-an-hour differential with the ball coming down and my hand going up. And if you mistime it, it is painful.
Oh, yeah, because you got to be so high, right? The trick is to get it as far away from the gravity as possible, right? You got to get it up there, because once it's coming back down, that's it. Wow. Unbelievable. Eric, take over on this. I'm just amazed with this guy.
Yeah, very, very, very impressive. And, David, we appreciate you coming on the show. As Barry pointed out, we've talked about some of your records quite a bit. So great to hear from the source here. But I wanted to dive into your background a little bit. So for listeners who may not know your story, how did you first get involved in setting world records in the first place?
So I went to the Idaho public education system, and I wasn't smart enough to get in the gifted program in second grade. But through hard work, I was eventually offered admission to MIT, where I got my electrical engineering degree.
MIT.
Came back to Boise.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2007, and it kicked my butt.
Okay.
I mean, it was good for me. So I came back to Boise, and then I was invited to come talk to some educators, like, did the Idaho public education system prepare you for the academic rigor of MIT? I'm sure I'd love to come give that talk, but I'm a juggler, so I'll create these analogies. And long story short, the talk went over so great. I got invited to do another one and another one and another one. I'm like, how do I make this more impactful? And I was like, I'll try to make a Guinness World Records title. And this is about in 2013. And so for the next 2 years, I trained to try to break my first Guinness World Records title for the fastest half mile while juggling. And after about 2,000 miles and 2 years of training, I hurt my knee.
Oh, no.
I had a choice. Do I give up or do I continue pursuing this dream with grit and a growth mindset? And I eventually pivoted to long duration blindfolded juggling. And in October of 2015, I juggled blindfolded for 6 minutes, 34 seconds, breaking my first Guinness World Records title. And I've continued to give that inspirational talk, and it's just expanded every time I fail or break a world record.
Wow, that's amazing. That's tenacity. It really is.
And I feel like some people would give up, but, having the strength to continue, and obviously all these years later is pretty impressive.
Right. But you branched out. Mm-hmm. You did more than juggling. You've done, like, balancing chainsaws on your chin. Were they running?
The first time I did it, there's actually two categories. There's a non-running category, and that's where I started. And then eventually I got to the running category, where it has to be not only running, but it has to cut wood before you put it on the chin, and the blade has to be engaged.
So, yeah, right. So the brake is off. The
brake is off and the safety's off. The safety's overridden because there's nothing holding it, so it's spinning. So if it falls off the chin, it keeps spinning. Terrifying.
Which, was that the scariest one for you?
It was one of the scariest. Another one of the scariest is actually the most kiwis sliced in 1 minute with the samurai sword while standing on a Swiss exercise ball.
All I can think of is John
exercise balls, you sit on or bounce on.
Yeah.
And I'm balancing on that thing, which is pretty unstable. And if you fall off, I'm holding this like razor sharp, pointed end samurai sword, and the getting impaled by that is just goes through my mind every time I do it.
All I can picture is John Belushi from Saturday Night Live when he was a samurai whatever. He always carried it. Oh my God! So these were actually were any of them new categories, or did you always go and go, nope, I'm doing that one? It's
about 90 to 95% of the ones I've done existed before. I did create the world's slowest juggling in the Guinness World Records database because the juggling community tracked it. There was a juggling community record, and Juggle Wiki had it, and there was 26 was a current record. But I contacted Guinness World Records and said, hey, you've got a most in a minute. There should be a fewest in a minute. Here's who currently holds the record and how it's tracked in this database. And Guinness World Records said, sure, we'll create that. We'll use the same juggling rules, and you can go out and we'll create a record for you.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's crazy. I only have one connection to anything like that. My brother-in-law is the world record holder for number of skydives, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to take that one away from him. So we're good.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's like 47,000 jumps or something crazy like that.
Well, he's going to get on it now.
Yeah, right. While juggling.
I mean, I'm doing the math. In my head right now. It would be possible, but I'm not going to do it.
So you've ended up doing performances all sorts of places. Now, America's Got Talent twice. Spain's Got Talent. How does an American from Idaho end up being Spain's Got Talent?
I mean, if you look at America's Got Talent, like 3 of the 4 judges are Canadian, and half the talent is from outside the United States.
What's North American?
You just get invited on, and they want talent from anywhere in the world, but you compete on that. And the America's Got Talent prize, of course, is the Las Vegas contract option and $1 million. The Spain's Got Talent grand prize is 25,000 euros. And so the competition might not be quite as hard to get onto that one.
Right.
But they invited me on. I even made it to the semifinals of Spain's Got Talent, doing some pretty quirky skills there.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. So they flew me out to Madrid a couple times.
Uh-huh.
And my wife came out one of the times and went to Lisbon, Portugal afterwards, and it was fun.
Wow. The real question I have here is, have you turned this into a way to make a living? I mean, do you actually make a living because you do all these things, and then you're a motivational speaker, right?
Yeah. So The short answer is no, but I could. And in fact, my main job is I work in tech. I'm a product manager working on cellular routers. And so I define, hey, what do we need to build next for, police, fire, ambulance vehicles, buses, trains, to put a router on it to give internet to those things that aren't like a police officer or a passenger on a train. So that's my main job. And frankly, I work in tech and it pays pretty darn well. Now, that said, I do take fees for speaking at conferences and corporations, but it's pretty much passively done. And so I'll get invited. And so I make enough money to pay my expenses, buy the supplies to break the Guinness World Records titles, and, do a couple fun things. But my day job in tech pays so well that I'm not really motivated to build that side of the business other than, breaking world records, putting out videos, and getting invited onto cool shows around the world. Totally,
including WCHE here in Westchester.
Right?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, this is like, when I got the email, I jumped at the chance to be on.
I was to say, we're always trying, when we see like the records and stuff like that, we're always reaching out to people. So we're really happy.
Yeah, we got stiffed by the old guy who did the wing walking.
Yeah.
And then there was the other guy that pulled the truck with his willy. Neither one of those guys would call us back.
Yeah.
Neither one of them. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Right. You would think.
I was born in State College, so I've got that connection at least.
Right. There you go. Good for you.
So, David, the next question I had here for you. So, as far as I wanted to get into like the verification process. So, what goes into that process for record keeping? Could you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways to get the records verified. The one you often see is the one with the clipboard there with the Guinness adjudicator on site. And that happens when it's like a big media event. I've had that, like a dozen times when I'm on TV shows. Or you can do it through the website. And the one to have the clipboard there, it's either like a big news program or media. They'll send the adjudicator, or you pay for that service, and it's pretty expensive because they're a private company that needs to make money, and that consultancy service to like get publicity for breaking world records is one of the ways they make money, which makes sense if you think about it as a private company that needs to stay in business. They also sell the books and do the videos. The other way that they offer to everybody in the world is completely 100% free, which is you create an application on the website. You have a free account, free application, and they'll get back to you with the rules, and then they'll say, here's all the things you need to do to verify it. You have to have independent witnesses, timekeepers. Sometimes you'll need surveyors if you need to mail something. And then you package up all the evidence with the video evidence from the start to finish, including the record, the evidence gathering, like the verification that all the rules were followed, submit it on their website. And then wait to hear back. And it can be a several week to several month process, but it's 100% free. And that's what I use for the majority of my records.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
Because all I could picture was a British guy coming over with a cane and a bolo hat watching you. Like, right, okay, get to it now.
Yeah.
And he's drinking tea. So that makes a big difference doing it that way, right?
Yeah.
I would say the live adjudicator I've worked with the mode is Michael Emprick, and he's based in New York City.
Oh, okay.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah. Wait. So, but you break most of your records in Idaho, don't you? Or where do you do them at?
Yeah, most of them in Idaho, and in that case, I do the video submission on the website.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So, David, as far as like overall, how many records have you held over the years, and do you still keep track at this point?
I lost track there for a while between 350 and 400. I was like, I know it's more than 350, but I just counted last week, and I hit 400 broken in total.
Oh, wow.
And also and this is breaking news, by the way. I haven't published this anywhere, so you better keep this a secret.
That's right.
It's live radio.
That's all right. We only have 6 listeners. We're good. Yeah.
I currently hold 200 of those Guinness World Records titles.
Wow. What really inspired you to even do your first one?
I mean, it was the idea that, I was promoting STEM education and trying to show students that if you set your mind to a goal, believe in yourself, and pursue it with a passion, you can accomplish virtually anything. And I'm like, if I'm gonna give this, I want to give a more tangible example than, not being smart enough to get into MIT. I can talk to it, but it's hard to show them that. And so I was like, I'm going to break a world record to show them this. And I broke that one record for the longest duration blindfolded juggling. And then I did fastest 5-ball juggling, and I'm like, oh, I got addicted, and so I did another one, and then I'm like, okay, well, I've juggled already to start with. What if I branched out to other things where I don't have a skill set that I've already built up? And so I did, stabbing peas with a toothpick and sucking down lemon juice, and stacking rolls of toilet paper as fast as I can in other disciplines to show that I could start bad at these activities and become better over time.
Now, I'm going to throw one at you real quick here, and you probably not have done this, but did you ever meet Michael Davis, the juggler that entertained Ronald Reagan?
I have not, but I have seen his work, and he's a comedic genius.
Oh, my God. Just hysterical, right? And I'm picturing that. Like, that would be my guy, my go-to guy. He was so damn funny with what he did. I don't even know if he exists anymore. I don't know if he's alive or dead, or never really followed it up. But like you said, comedic genius.
Who was that?
Michael Davis. Yeah, he did. You'd have to actually watch the video, Eric. This guy was hysterical. He did this whole thing for Ronald Reagan and all these political people, and it was so funny the way he performed all that. So didn't you do a bicycle on your chin or something, or in your mouth, or you had to hold it up?
I have a couple records for balancing a bicycle on my chin, yes.
Yeah. You want to elaborate on any of that? Like, what? How much? First of all, how much does one of them weigh? More or less than the chainsaw that's idling?
More than the chainsaw, yeah. For those records, Guinness will say, the device has to be commercially available to make it fair for everybody, but it also usually has a minimum weight. And I think in the case of a chainsaw, it's 7 kilograms. For the bicycle, it's what is it? I think it's 27 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Did you get any sponsorship out of who owned what company was the bicycle? Did you ever get anything with that?
I don't know. Actually, I did borrow a bicycle from a local bike shop that was like a half pound over the minimum weight. So they let me borrow the bicycle, and I returned it.
What brand was it?
I don't remember.
Yes, perfect. Like Cannondale, perfect to balance on your chin.
Now, David, as far as your records, like overall, is there any that like you're most proud of so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's the hardest record, the ones that, like most things in life, where you spend the most time, energy, and effort on it, that you work the hardest to accomplish. Those are the things the most proud of. And so the one I cite right now is the longest duration juggling. Start juggling, no stops, no breaks. And there's a couple different types of categories that you'll see. There's the longest marathon doing something. Mm-hmm. And those marathon records, you get like every hour, you get like a 5-minute break that you can add up. And so, after 5 hours, you can take a 20-minute break, or you can take a 5-minute break every hour. In the longest duration, there's no break. It's continuous. And as soon as you drop a ball, it's over. Well, and the previous record was 12 hours, 5 minutes.
You know what the question is that everybody asks you if you're doing a duration one, right? I mean, how do you pee? I mean, what do you do? You got to relieve yourself. What do you do? Just not drink before that? I mean, you got to keep. How do you do it? Like first.
So it took me 4 tries.
Yeah.
And I sort of figured it out along the way. The first try was about 3.5 hours in, and my wife texted from the hospital saying, "Baby's coming 3 weeks early." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Can you hold that for a few hours?
I'm a little embarrassed. It took me 9 minutes before I stopped juggling. Once I heard that news.
She's just hearing that now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. And so, the guy before me, I found out he wore a catheter, and I'm like, I don't think I need to go quite that far. So,
right.
Just an adult diaper.
Oh, yeah.
And then I tried restricting my liquid intake at first.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
However, because it's a physical activity, I was getting delirious, like literally head spinning, dizzy, felt like the world was spinning around me. So I had to drink extra fluids, to stay hydrated. And, just that adult diaper.
Wait a second. So does somebody just come up with like a hose thing, or do you wear one of those goofy hats that has the beers on both sides? You put some water bottles. How do you consume the liquid at the same time?
Okay, so I was wearing a Camelback, like a 3-liter Camelback, and I was consuming a mixture of high protein chocolate milk and protein powder. And my wife would fill it up every few hours.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, and when you do these, do you do it publicly, like where people are really, like, does a crowd gather?
It depends on the event. In the case of that one, I did it in a private venue because I was just so. I had witnesses there, but I tried to do it in a public venue, but I was like, I don't want anything to mess this one up. And sometimes when I'm on a longest duration or furthest distance traveled on foot while running, I ran it around a track. So I ran like 118 laps around a track, and there's people there, and we talked to them on the way. And then other times I'll go to like a kids summer camp, and I break a record last week giving my inspirational message, or I'll go into schools and I'll break a quick record, like the fastest time to flip 10 cups or something like that. I'll do it as part of the assembly.
And the one where you changed the most shirts, in some kind of, what was it?
A marathon?
A marathon? Was it just because you perspire a lot?
There was no changing of shirts.
No?
It was the one I think we're referencing is the most T-shirts worn for half.
T-shirts worn. That's right. T-shirts worn. Wait,
so you gotta put them all on before the half marathon, and you gotta finish wearing them all.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I knew it was something with shirts and the marathon.
Right. There you
go.
Okay, got it. Got that one wrong, but
wow. So I put 137 shirts on, ran 13 miles, and then took 137 shirts off.
Wow. Well, I actually did.
Yes, I perspired.
Yeah, I actually did something like that too when they started charging for your baggage on the airlines. I just wear all my clothes and just get on the plane.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I'm kind of right with them on that thing.
I thought you were going to say you ran the mare, but then you ended up a mile in and you were done.
Oh, yeah, that would have been me. I would have run like 20 feet and been done.
But, David, as far as, like, how much preparation goes into a typical record attempt, like, on average?
Yeah, it varies widely. So at any given time, I'm practicing for probably 15 or 20 different record attempts because it takes time, energy, and effort. And like there's, the science behind, building neural connections in the brain, sleeping on it to consolidate those neural pathways with a myelin sheath forming around that leaky hose of a neural pathway. And sometimes I'll get a record I'll break it in practice, like in the first try. Other times it'll take, weeks or months to build up the skills for it. And then, for example, like the fastest or the most T-shirts worn for a half marathon, I'll have to train running, literally hundreds of miles, and I'll put on, to prep for the heat, 5 T-shirts, a rain jacket, a fleece, 2 coats, a hat, gloves, and a pack with 30 pounds of weight, and go on runs over months to build up the stamina for it. So, it ranges from I get it on the first try to years of practice to build up for each record. So it varies widely depending on which one.
I feel like I'm talking to Tony Stark.
Right.
I really do.
Now, do you ever have like a team helping you, or is a lot of the work done on your own?
Oh, for record, there's, the practice is mostly done on my own, but I'll often require a team. And in fact, to verify a record, I always need a team unless I've got an adjudicator on site, because I need the people to verify the rules are being followed, fill out the paperwork. And in case of like the half marathon, I need people running with me every step of the way to, film it, as well as, give me water, electrolytes, ice, spray me down with spray bottles, keep me cool, and that kind of thing.
Has your wife ever won any awards for being married to you?
She's best wife ever day, all the time. I cannot do this without her. She's been the most supportive person in the world, from putting up with all the junk to support 400 records worth of materials to, doing a lot of the timing or the videoing for the events, and then, putting up with the practice, and then, taking the kids for 13 hours while I'm juggling.
Right. What a team player, man. She's got to be incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, love her to death. Yeah. And I met her at MIT, and she's, brilliant as well, mechanical engineer, and works at HP working on laser jet printers. And she is by far the best thing I got out of MIT.
Now, do you have any, like, joint records?
Yeah.
We do. We hold the record for the most T-shirts put on in like a minute and 30 seconds with a team of 2. We also hold the record for the fastest time to clear a game of Hungry Hunger Hippos with a team of 4. So with my 7 and 10-year-old boys and my wife and I, we hold that one together.
So that's pretty special, holding it with family members.
Right, a family member thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is what he's all about. Like my sister, also the 5th highest ranked skydiving woman in the world, she does STEM teaching. She graduated from Lehigh with a degree in industrial engineering and then became a physics teacher and then Earth and Space. And her students actually had some experiments go up on the space shuttle. And she teaches STEM at iFly and teaches the dynamic of, the skydiving and how it all comes together. And she just lights up doing this. She just loves it. Clearly, like you do, Dave.
I mean, I love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I had one more question, Barry. If you had anything else, feel free. But the last question I had for you, David, so where can listeners follow your attempts and some of your work? Any ways to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at Record Breaker Rush is my social media handle. So Record Breaker Rush on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then my website is also recordbreakerrush.com.
I'm telling you, I have to thank you. I'm honored that you came on. Like I said, we couldn't get the guy that pulled the truck with his Willie. We couldn't get the old man who wing walked. They wouldn't return our phone calls. You stepped right up and did this thing, and we've had some other people that have been pretty funny from different areas, foreign lands and stuff that will call in for us and things like that. But this one, by far, I think Eric will agree, has been the best one, like out of Record Breaker people. It's an honor to have you on, and I hope maybe we can get you back on when you're going to do another one. We'd love to cover it and talk to you again.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I have any planned until tonight. So.
Hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time on here.
Hey, you guys take care.
Take care. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye.